Good morning, everybody. Wake up, wake up, wake up in Provincetown. This week featuring Wake Up, Wake Up. Can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Make it strong, please. Hey! Oh! Hey! Oh! No, really, can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up!
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, September 3rd. It's September already.
Ugh.
It's Labor Day weekend.
I know. Thanks for hanging in there while we sorted out those tech difficulties. Just the joys of living on the tip of the Cape.
Yes.
When it comes
Live
to internet.
television.
Yeah. We have a really exciting show for you today. If you're watching on Facebook, scoot on over to our YouTube page and please hit subscribe while you're there. We love that so much. But we do have Sedgwick here to promote his art opening tonight at the Treadwell Gallery. Super excited to chat with him about that. And we also have the glamour toad herself, Ginger Minj, coming in to chat with us about her show in Provincetown, her run on All Star 6.
Which concluded last night.
Yeah. And her upcoming album, Double Wide Diva.
And yesterday I got a sneak preview of Mark Adams' show at the Schoolhouse Gallery, which also opens today. The Friday of Labor Day is kind of like the biggest art opening day of the year, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like so many great gallery shows tonight. Lots of our friends are premiering brand new work. John Dowd at the William Scott Gallery, which I think is happening right now. Like his collectors line up at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay.
To get in there and stick a red dot on their favorite piece. Greg Salvatore has a show tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Gaston Lacombe has a show tonight.
Yeah, so definitely stop by the Whalers Wharf to check out both their shows this evening. Super fun.
And something's going on here too, right?
Oh, yeah. Tonight, we're continuing. We're having our second installment of Rainbow Connection, which is our Friday night dance parties here at the Provincetown Brewing Company tap room. It is 7:30 to 10 tonight, and the theme tonight is Brew Collar Realness in honor of Labor Day weekend. I'll be at the door taking dollars.
Cheers!
So stop by and say hi
to all of the laborers out there, all of the workers. This is your weekend. It's gonna be crazy busy. It's always like the busiest week. Like tomorrow. Are you ready for tomorrow?
No.
The weather's good. People are gonna be here.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I'm excited for it to be over. I actually only have to work today and tomorrow. I'm off Sunday and Monday. I'm really excited about Sunday and Monday.
Yeah, it's gonna be cute.
Power through it.
How was your week?
My week was much like the summer, a roller coaster. Mm-hmm. There were some absolute highlights. Trivia was great, and then after trivia, you were there. We went to the club to hear Mike Flanagan play.
Yeah, that's our favorite thing to do after trivia. We get our trivia at 8:30, and then Mike Flanagan runs his show at the club every Monday, among many other shows he does, but we love to catch him at the club on Mondays from 9 o'clock until 10:30, always with guest vocals, and there was an extra special guest vocalist this week.
You never know who's gonna pop up and do a song with Mike. Do you have that picture, Jonathan, of that extra special guest vocalist?
Yeah.
The one and only legendary Leah Delaria, who is one of the owners of that club, got up there and did a little jazz, scat, bebop moment with Mike.
It was Good Work If You Could Get It, I think was the song she sang.
Nice work.
Nice work if you can get it.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes, Leah's amazing.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And I've never actually seen her jump up randomly and do a song with Mike, so that was an extra special treat for us.
Yeah.
And then...
But that night is always so much fun. If you are free on a Monday night, definitely stop by and check that out.
Yeah. And did we tell them last week that Mike's Whitney show with Cherie is extended through Halloween? Not just the beginning of October, but they're going to keep doing it Sundays at 7 at the Post Office Cabaret until Halloween because they keep selling out. It's such a great show.
Yeah, it's been selling out. Everyone I know that's seen it has raved about it, including Bob.
Mm-hmm. I wept.
Yeah, Cherie tends to pop up at Mondays at the club as well, so if you're always busy Sunday nights like me, I'm lucky enough to catch her every once in a while at the club on Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then work was interesting on Tuesday and Wednesday. Is it rant time? Can I talk about this yet?
Go for it.
Listen, I had an experience at the bar the other night where another bartender from town...
In air quotes.
Well, listen, this is part of the story. There's an unspoken code in this industry. If you are a bartender and you're sitting at another bartender's bar, you have to act right. You cannot be the most obnoxious Karen of all time. And the other day, so this couple of townies, I'm going to put these people that live here, were sitting at the bar. They're not even townies, first of all.
They don't even go here.
They don't. Sitting at the bar, and they go, my friend wants a mojito. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, guys, we don't have any mint. And he goes, well, then just make one without mint. And I was like, I hate to break it to you, but a mojito is a mint drink. Like, it's mint that makes a mojito. And he goes, I'm a bartender too, and I make mojitos without mint all the time. And I was like, I'm not being a jerk, but I'm gonna pull up the definition of mojito and read it to you, okay? I was like, the first ingredient is 10 mint leaves. The picture is a jar of mint. Like, what? And are you really gonna be that person right now? And he goes, what person? I was like, what you're doing. What you're doing is wrong.
Pick something else.
And then I would go, so you want rum and lime? Okay, I'm gonna do that. I make him a rum and lime drink, and he goes, that's too strong for me. You need to do something to that. And I was like, my head exploded. I grew a new head with an even angrier face, and was like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? You know who I'm talking about too. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't go to a bar and act like that. And then they called me Karen. They were like, okay, Karen. And I was like, do you understand that you're being Karen? You can't call me Karen. I'm gonna stop Karen for you and walk away. And then I just didn't make eye contact with them anymore. I was like, and I hate to be that bartender that's like, Cooper, you have to deal with them for the rest of the time that they're here. Like, I will not go over there again.
I've done that to the same person twice where I'm just like, you are getting absolutely no more of my energy.
Yeah.
So sorry.
And I know where this person works, and I hate to be petty and vindictive, but I'm willing to do it. And I will go.
Do you hate to be petty and vindictive?
Yes, I hate it. I'm generally a kind, loving, generous person with my time and energy. And I try to tend towards friendly and loving. But it's September. What's so funny, Jonathan? I'm going to go to this person's bar and actually be really, really nice. That's what I just decided in this moment.
I love that.
Thank you.
You ran over?
It's over.
Cute.
But I mean, this person needs to like get it together. Get real.
I love the blind items we do on our show.
I'm going to send this to this person.
Great. I love that. My week was a lot of fun. This past Friday, right after the show, I met up with some friends at the Provincetown Inn pool, and it was so there's a weird thing that happens every season in Provincetown, which is when your first friend leaves. It's always like a gut punch. You're always entirely shocked by it, and you're like, oh my God, it's starting. People are starting to leave, which is always such a bummer. But last Friday was the last day in town of our friend Mikey Bukaram. He worked here at the brewing company all summer and a lot of last winter and the summer before, but he left to go back to school, and he was such a joy to have and be around this past summer that I'm gonna miss him so much. But he'll be back. This is kind of home for him, so I'm excited to see him back here again. But we went to the pool, and then we went to the Red Inn to bother Bob and have him make us cocktails, and it was tons of fun.
I never saw you. You sat out front.
Yeah, we were outside. It was busy, and I feel like when it's busy, I try not to bother my coworkers.
That's a really nice bartender thing to do to another bartender, is to not irritate them.
Yeah, but that was a lot of fun. It was a little like family outing. It was really cute.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the first one to leave.
I know, it's such a bummer.
Is anyone? I mean, I feel like most of the people this year are staying.
Yeah, a lot of people are staying, which is also great. We love that.
Yeah.
And then that night, I got to go to Strangers and States for the first time in literal years. I think since
years?
Pre-Panny.
Really?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was great. It was amazing. We sat with Mikey and JC at the bar. They were tons of fun. It was great.
I actually went there for dinner last night.
Cute.
Yeah, and I was with people that had never been there, and they were like, "You've been here. You order everything. Don't you love that too?" Mm-hmm. And so I got kind of one of everything, and they loved it. It was so good. Thank you, Fred and Steven and Kevin, for making it happen. A wonderful experience.
Yeah.
What else happened this week?
The mask mandate went away. Let's talk about that for a moment.
Okay.
Anyone who watched the show last week saw my rant about the mask mandate, and I am excited to not have to wear a mask in a room full of 100 people who aren't wearing masks. But I think a lot of people are continuing to wear masks in their day-to-day, which I think is great. I think it's responsible to carry a mask on you, as a lot of businesses are going to continue asking their patrons to wear masks.
You still need one to go into the bank, probably the grocery store.
Yeah, I think when it comes to places that people don't really have an option of not going to, like the post office, the grocery store, the bank, I'm going to continue wearing masks in those spaces regardless of their rules or mandates or advisories, just because I think people should have the right to feel safe in spaces that they kind of are entitled to go to.
Like they have to be there. Like you have to go
Yeah.
into the grocery store.
Exactly.
It was so fun though, finding out at 4 o'clock that day that the mask mandate ended at 5.
Yeah,
We were in the middle of our work day, and he was like, "Oh my God, look, read this," and I was like, "It's 5 o'clock somewhere."
Yeah,
It's
the staff was giddy and started the countdown.
Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I took mine off at 4:15. No, just
Yeah.
kidding, I didn't. I wore it right up until 5 o'clock. Didn't
But
you?
great work, everyone, in wearing your masks, being really safe, getting our positivity rate super low, continuing to encourage people to get vaccinated. I know they've given, I want to say like 150 vaccinations over the past couple months since the outbreak, which is great. Continue to encourage your friends in a kind, loving way to get vaccinated.
And then on Wednesday, so the mask mandate gets lifted on Tuesday. Wednesday night, Fag Bash happened kind of in the middle of a torrential monsoon downpour. Like I don't know that I've ever felt it rain like that in town before. You ventured out, didn't you?
I was at Fag Bash, got the tornado warning, and tornadoed home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at work when my phone was getting that alert, and it was like, don't be near, we're surrounded by windows at the Red Inn, and I'm sitting there going, don't sit near a window. And I was like, but it also said, don't go anywhere. And I was like, should I get in my car and drive home? Or should I sit here like it's telling me to do? And it said, find shelter in a basement. So I drove to Fag Bash, which happens in a basement.
I got on my bike and was like, wee! Like an idiot.
No, but it was really fun to watch people running in their underwear and jock straps through the puddles. Like after Fag Bash was over and everybody went upstairs literally running into the street. The water was like up to your knees in front of the lobster pot there. Trevor took a really beautiful picture of that flash flood.
Yeah.
That was like the remnants of Hurricane Ida.
As much as it was the remnants, there was damage and destruction all across New England and New York. I know a lot of people have seen the videos and pictures of the destruction in New York. I know last time I checked, 15 deaths due to flash flooding.
In New England?
In New York. In
Really?
Manhattan. Or not Manhattan, but New York City.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, basement apartments were flash flooded, subways, and I think it is it's here. Climate change is here. The effects of it are being felt by so many people. I know my family in Connecticut has a lot of roads that are washing away.
Really?
It's not great.
I mean, New Orleans is still without power. A lot of our friends down there had to flee and go somewhere else for a little while. Our hearts go out to all of our friends and family in New Orleans especially, but also up here in New England where it was pretty devastating.
Yeah.
I mean, my friend's garage flooded pretty badly. My roof started leaking again.
Ooh.
I know.
The joys of homeownership.
Yay! That's why when you were like, I'm going to start buying art once I own a home, I was like, honey, you're not going to be able to afford art after you buy a house.
We'll see.
Empty walls, empty walls.
Yeah.
What's going on in Texas?
I do want to talk a touch about the abortion ban in Texas. They did instate a new law that bans abortions after 6 weeks, which is a metric that I think is not accepted by most medical professionals and pro-choice people. Most women often don't know that they're pregnant until after 6 weeks.
Right.
And what is extra fucked up about this law is they are empowering citizens to basically bounty hunt for women who are seeking abortions, and the umbrella of people who can be punished for things like Uber drivers driving people to abortion clinics. Anyone considered to be aiding and abetting in an abortion can be arrested and fined and put in jail for this, and it's crazy. Polls as of late in the past 5 or so years, 3 out of 4 people agree with the decision that was made in the Roe v. Wade case in the Supreme Court in the 80s, and I just feel like it's frustrating because it feels like a debate that should be over. When 3 out of 4 people agree and the Supreme Court has already made their decision to kind of install this theocracy bullshit in Texas is fucked up.
I feel bad for my friends that live in Texas, but don't leave, stay and vote and get those fuckers out of there.
Yeah, and the rest of the country and the world will continue supporting you and getting your rights back.
Yeah, that's absurd. It's 2021. What the
Go to
hell?
that website, blow it up.
Oh, yeah.
What is it called?
It's like,
Pro-life.
ProLifeWhistleblower.com.
yeah.
That's where you're supposed to go to tell on people who are getting abortions, but it turns out a lot of people are going on there to spam it, including us.
Yeah.
So you can go to that website and tell them that, you ate an embryo yourself and that Dr. Seuss was the one who performed the operation for you.
Just an idea.
Yeah, fill it in.
Yeah.
Like TikTokers are doing it. It's what I read about in the news this morning. It's just so hard to believe.
Is it?
In this day and age, I'm like, what year is it?
It's like barely hard to believe. Happening tonight and has been happening the past few nights was American Horror Story Night Bites, in a way to promote their new season of American Horror Story. This was supposed to happen a couple weeks ago, but it got pushed back due to like stuff. But this week, over at the new park, kind of by like Spindlers, that area, they have a food truck set up. It's super spooky. Olivia Lux finally made it to town for that gig.
Yay.
Yeah, I had lunch with her this past Wednesday with Joe and some friends, and she was an utter delight. Just as lovely and amazing as she was on our show a few weeks ago is how lovely and amazing she is in real life. I have a picture of her and Joe at that gig. She looked incredible and spooky. She had like hair horns that were totally incredible. But it's still open tonight. I doubt there are still like tickets left. I'm not sure if they're allowing walk-ups. I'm not sure the deal. I have some tickets for later tonight, so I'm going to stop by and get some night bites. Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, they did this in LA and New York, and I'm happy they also brought it to Provincetown.
Where the show was shot.
Are you caught up?
No, I've only seen the first one so far.
Oh, I
there
saw
have
the
been
second one
3
as
now,
well.
right?
Yeah, the third one came out this past Wednesday. I hadn't watched the show as of last week, and from what I heard, people were a little upset about the way Provincetown was portrayed, but I feel like just like there aren't vampires, there aren't meth heads and hookers running on the street, I feel like it's that same kind of, don't laugh, that same kind of like, they added stuff to make it interesting, and I hope that people's takeaway isn't that Provincetown is overrun by like junkies and the like.
I'm smiling.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'll catch up. I'll watch it.
Yeah, but I thought it was a lot of fun. I like the kind of metaphor of the concept of the season and how that relates to real life Provincetown. Yeah.
The photography's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I'm watching it with my roommate Samuel, who's spent the last 2 summers here, but is planning on spending the winter. And every time they do like a scene of like everything, he's like, "Is that what winter looks like?" Because it's so gray, and I'm like, "No."
They color corrected that.
Yeah,
they made it look
they
like
put a
that.
sepia on it. But it's gray and beautiful in Provincetown.
Instead of watching that, I was actually listening to our friend Robert's podcast, Misguided Astrology.
Yes.
If you have a chance, you should definitely check out his podcast.
Yeah.
They did one on us called When Harry Met Bob. And it's funny to listen. And we're back.
Hi.
Sorry for the internet connectivity issues, guys, but it is Labor Day. There's a lot of people here, and we're just a tiny little fishing village out at the end of the world.
Yeah. But Katie and Rob did a really incredible job on their podcast, Misguided Astrology, focusing on me and Bob. We got our entire charts read each. Katie did Bob, Rob did me, and then they chatted a little about our work compatibility.
They were talking a lot about my 7th house.
Yeah.
And I was like, girl, I'm just trying to find a second condo in a warm weather location. I ain't got no 7th house.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was the first time I got my full chart read, and it was enlightening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very accurate.
Yeah.
For people that everything they said about you was true. Everybody go and listen to this one episode especially if you want to know more about his and my charts.
Yeah, but definitely check out the entire thing. They are so fun and knowledgeable about it all, and they put a really fun spin on it that makes it really fun to listen to.
Yeah.
I know I have more stuff. Oh, It was one of our favorite people's birthday this past week. The man behind the camera, Jonathan Hawkins, had his birthday this week, and we all got together this past Wednesday night at the Crown and Anchor for a truly delicious dinner. Paolo put together a really fun night with so many friends. It really just goes to show you how many people love Jonathan Hawkins, and that is because Jonathan Hawkins is such an incredible person, and one of those people where you're like, I need help, and he's always there to help you. He's always there to help you do anything you want to do, make it amazing, make it incredible, and we're so thankful to have him on board with Wake Up in Provincetown.
Thank you for everything you do. Happy birthday, baby.
Yeah, but if you see him around town this weekend and haven't had a chance to wish him a happy birthday, give him a big hug. Yeah.
What else?
I think that's it. That's all I got.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then now would be a great time to check in with Mark Adams. I went to see his show yesterday at the Schoolhouse. Here's a little 7.5-minute video, a sneak preview of what you can expect to see tonight when you go visit Mark at the Schoolhouse. The show opens at 6.
Killer.
Take it away.
We had a little bit of technical difficulty. We're going to figure that out and do Mark's video a little later. But in the meantime, we have the incredible Sedgwick here with us.
Sedgwick, how are you?
I am good. How are you guys?
Really good. Thank you for coming on to the show.
Of course. I'm excited to be here.
So you were here earlier in the summer doing a Stowaway residency?
That is correct. For 2 weeks, I was at the Stowaway and had a studio set up there and photographed some live models for reference and worked on some paintings. And there you have it.
And that work is coming to fruition now to be shown tonight?
Well, only one. Only one, because they do take quite a long time, like depending 6 months or more.
Really?
So yeah, I don't work start to finish, so I'm always like rotating on like 10 to 20 things at the same time.
Wow.
So yeah.
That probably keeps things interesting, and you don't get a little too belabored on one piece, or.
Yeah, that's correct. It just kind of keeps it fresh, and I can get bored easily. So yeah.
When did you get back to town?
I got back here, so this is the end of the second week for me. So yeah. So I've been here
Have you showed in Provincetown before?
I've had work at Adam's Nest for a number of years, just like little small pieces, little portraits. So, but nothing of this level here. Not a solo show. This is my first solo here.
Are any of those little metal buttons because of you?
little metal buttons?
There was like a pin, like this. It was a nude man, and it was very like reminiscent of your work.
No.
I bought one because I thought you
no.
had designed it.
It might have been. It might have been inspired. You know, who knows? Yeah. But
Yeah,
no.
cute little nude man, like for me to wear at work. On
No.
my lapel.
No. So, not me. Yeah.
So you're a painter and a printmaker.
Yes.
And you kind of work many elements into like your finished pieces. So how did you kind of have the idea of putting like other multimedia on top of your paintings?
That was a very organic thing. There was a piece that a huge triptych I made like in 2019. It was like a reaction to a significant life event. My father had passed away, and then so I was like working through my stuff via my work. And I know it might sound silly, but I was like thinking of myself as a little boy and how, just not really having a word for gay or queer when I was little, and just like navigating the world. And I was thinking about Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls, and like that's kind of like how it started with the yarn and stuff. And so I'm not formally trained like with say like embroidery and fabrics like and that type of thing. So I just started doing it. So yeah, that's it, very organic, and then it just took off from there. So yeah.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Lebanon County, Pennsylvania, Dutchland.
Oh, wow. Where do you live now?
I live in the state capital of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Harrisburg.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And how did you discover Provincetown?
Through an ex of mine many years ago when I was a lot younger, like 2005.
Yeah.
So,
That was my first summer.
Yeah.
Tales all this time.
So I've been coming almost every summer since. So,
Excellent.
yeah.
Is this summer the most time you've spent here?
This season is definitely the most I've spent here in Provincetown, so which has been great. So I'm even thinking about coming back in the fall.
Stay. Just stay.
I know. Does anyone have a house they can give me? So,
Right.
yeah.
How did you get connected with Sean in the Treadwell Gallery?
Well, that was really through Stowaway,
Okay.
because I had some things set up there, like an open studio and stuff, and he came by. I mean, you know how people are in town. They were like, hey, there's this artist here, you should check him out. And so then Sean came and then was like, hey, solo show. And I was like,
Perfect.
yes.
So it's just you tonight. That's great.
It is just me, yeah.
I think your art is perfect for the brand of the Treadwell Gallery. It's young, it's fun, it's lively, it's colorful.
Sexy
Thank
and
you.
colorful.
Sexy.
Well, there is a wall of jock straps, so.
Cute.
Yeah.
You're gonna go. He's off tonight, so he can come say hi.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
So
time is
it'll
it?
be up, so you can pop in and look at it, though.
I
So,
will.
Yeah.
I try to go like when I'm out of work on my way home. Sean's often standing out there at 12:30 or whatever, being like, "Come in, come look." Yeah.
Yeah.
What time's the show?
The opening reception tonight is 7 to 9, so if you go to T, you can just pop across the street and I'll be there. And yeah, there'll be some wine
Excellent.
if you like wine. Yeah.
Yeah, wine and beautiful paintings of hot boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody go say hi to Sedgwick tonight at the Treadwell Gallery, starting at 7 o'clock. Buy some art.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you so much for coming by.
Yeah, well, thank you.
I'll see you later.
Okay, sounds good.
Now we're gonna give Mark's video another try. Let's see how it goes.
Good morning, everybody. We are at the Schoolhouse Gallery with Mark Adams. We're getting a sneak preview of his new show that opens tomorrow night. Well, tonight. When you watch this, it will be tonight. The Friday of Labor Day weekend. It's the big art Friday of the year.
Biggest.
And
I'm not the only one opening.
I know.
There's Mr. Dowd. But don't let me leave anyone out.
Greg Salvatore,
Yes,
Gaston Lacombe,
Gaston.
Sean Treadwell,
It's Seth
Sedgwick.
Cedric.
He's on our show live.
Oh, I love that guy.
I do too. So let's go and take a peek at what Mark has for us.
This is basically my work here. These two very powerful corner walls.
What can you tell me about this?
Well, so I've been collecting these old maps. I have a source, And these are old charts, they're navigation charts. Some of them even have like pencil marks of courses written on them, so they were used. And they're from all over the world, Brazil, the Greek islands, and they so fit as a base for these ideas of mine about travel and refuge, about how we blend experiences we have of being on the beach or being nomads or trekking, and how it kind of matches the kind of essential human nature of being pilgrims all through the world. I'm also trying to kind of build my muscles around bigger, more energetic gestural paintings that just take more stature to make.
I love this. We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
When's the last bonfire you were at?
Oh, geez, just a couple days ago, I think.
I don't think I got to go to a single one this summer.
We had an amazing storytelling bonfire a couple nights ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Who was telling stories there?
Byron Crawford.
Yeah.
And Aaron Leckleiter.
Mm-hmm.
And Christopher Castellani, the author, the famous author of Leading Men. And Cody, aka Saltine.
Excellent.
Saltine chose the theme for the storytelling night, which was awe.
Aw.
Awe.
Like A-W-E?
Yeah. Although you could take it either as puppy or the Grand Canyon.
Excellent.
And so there's a lot of amazing.
Did you tell a story?
I did.
What
I
was
told a
yours about?
story of the awesomeness of being a child in nature and like, catching things and sort of tormenting them, but only because we're fascinated with life. We're fascinated with being in touch with nature, with holding a toad in your hand and seeing his little lungs move with his breath and his heartbeat. So it's that same feeling of awe, you jump in a pond and you suddenly feel like, you and nature are somehow related. We're not just robots.
We're one. We're part of it.
We're part of it, yeah. There's another piece to the show too, if you want to see it.
Yeah.
Come out back here into this. Dun, da, da, da. This is an image of what the Cape landscape was like 11,000 years ago when the first humans arrived after the glaciers. And what was happening then is sea level was 200 feet lower. So here's Cape Cod here, and this would be George's Bank, but George's Bank was an island full of forests, mastodons, woolly mammoths, giant bears, walruses. So this is kind of the first human landscape of Cape Cod 11,000 years ago, based on the geology after the glaciers. And this actually is the original drawing of a print that's installed on the floor twice as large as this at the Cape Cod Museum of Art right now at Dennis.
Right.
So there's a cartography show, which includes a Wampanoag exhibit, some 15th century maps from a collector, and a room based on the early native time geology of Cape Cod.
How long is your show up at the Cape Cod Museum of Art?
October 3rd it closes, and I'll be doing a talk there, I think September 30th,
All right.
4 o'clock, explaining all this. It'll be like geology and imagination,
Right.
all in one.
Perfect.
And there's one more piece over there on the wall. And everybody says that this is sort of like expresses the perfect imaginary good-spirited witchiness of Provincetown, but it's actually Oriana.
Really?
It's based on a day in the dunes when Oriana jumped on top of this wooden table and conjured in her way.
Does she know this is here?
I told her, but she might not really be aware. I did another version of it, which I gave to her as a present.
You have to make sure she's here tomorrow.
Yeah, we got to get a picture of her standing in front
Yes,
of
you
it.
And
Yeah.
how many years have you been here at the Schoolhouse?
Well, my first show at the Schoolhouse was in 1999. It was a group show with the Seascape Mapping Project with a bunch of venerable artists and writers that we had a winter residency in Dunchak, and we made a show out of that, including Jen Bradley, who's still working here, and I could make a list. Who else? Matthew Lazur, Nick Flynn, God, who else? Well, of course, Travin Pelletier. And then in 2000, I had my first solo show here at the Schoolhouse, and I don't know, that makes something like 23 or 24 shows here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What time should people come tomorrow?
Well, the opening is from 6 to 9 tomorrow. I might not be here till 6:30 because who wants to be early for the party, right? But the gallery will be open, and people often sneak in without telling me, and if you have your eye on a particular drawing, you might want to come early.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for the sneak peek.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming.
Of course.
Yeah,
We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm psyched.
Congratulations.
And yeah, I want to thank Michael Carroll, the gallery director. I want to thank all my inspiring friends, including Oriana and Mike Sullivan and Gaston. A lot of people are just, this town is full of inspiration, and I love you all.
Or if I mean, haven't. Are we on? Oh, I have to make a correction. I said something in the Mark Adams video that my husband just texted me and was like, "That's not true."
What is
I
it?
said that I hadn't been to a bonfire yet this year, and he threw me one for my birthday.
Wow.
I'm not counting like my own. I'm saying I never went to a bonfire that wasn't that one, is what I meant. Did that come out wrong? Peter, I love you. Thank you for throwing my birthday bonfire. I did have that one birthday bonfire.
That just means it was really good if you can't remember it.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But everyone welcome the glamour toad herself, Miss Ginger Minj.
Hi! I'm in such a rush, I didn't even put on the other half of my eyebrows this morning. So
We
I
love that
apologize.
half, though.
Well, thank you. It's the little starter nub, you know?
You can go any direction. That's why they're great.
Exactly. Well, people always go like, "Oh, you're a makeup artist." No, I am an artist who uses makeup. There's a big difference. I am not good at lining things up.
I have to disagree.
I
Your
look
makeup
like a
always looks
surprised
incredible.
fox half of the time. If I shave all of them off or cover them, it's that one's up here and one's down here.
It's a
They're
look.
not twins. They're not sisters. They don't even live in the same zip code.
Cute.
But I'm here.
First and foremost, I want to congratulate you on yet again just such an incredible display of talent this past season on All Star 6. I was thinking about it and I'm like, Ginger's like the only person who's never been bad on Drag Race. Like you are literally, you are always like top notch, bringing the talent. Everything is perfect. Congrats.
Well, thank you very much. All Stars 2, I did dress like a baked potato from outer space and got sent home for it. So there have been moments.
I lived for that. Sorry.
I lived for it too. Here's the thing, like I do get criticized a lot about my outfit choices, even to this day. But to me, like, that's the fun of drag.
Totally.
You know, drag is kitschy. It can still be fashion, but it's still like so over the top and silly and stupid, and that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
I like to look like Miss Piggy going on like some kind of International Space Station journey. And so I think if you take risks and have fun with it, and as long as you're just doing what you want to do,
Right.
it's still fashion and it's still fun.
And it's about entertainment. Like you want a reaction, whether that's good or bad. Kind
Hello?
of.
Well,
Yeah.
my entrance look for this
People did
season-
not love.
Well, but it did exactly what I wanted it to do because people are still split on it. Some people got the joke. Oh, because first of all,
Yeah.
do I think I'm walking in like Naomi Smalls, looking like the fashion icon of the world? I'm dressed like a frog. I look like I belong in a Super Mario Brothers game.
I could see it.
But that's what I wanted to do. I wanted it to like cause a reaction and make people talk, and they're still talking about it today.
Right. But honestly, I think this season was incredible, but I think the two takeaways that I thought were like outrageously over the top and amazing compared to other seasons was one, all of you girls' promos looks.
Oh, thank you.
So incredible. And also, I think this season's lip syncs were so incredible and so over the top amazing, and you kind of led the pack with that.
Oh, thank you.
Winning 2?
I
Incredible.
did win too. Kylie and I are the only ones that won all of our lip syncs. Well, she had the 1 and I had the 2. And when the season first got announced and they were like starting to trickle out the details, all the fans were like, oh, not this format again, not a lip sync assassin. It was so bad last year. And then it started. I was just like, y'all wait. Y'all wait, because every one of them is good. And just because some of the other girls didn't win their lip syncs doesn't mean that they didn't deserve to. They were insanely good this year. And I think that that's because we were all locked up for like a year, or almost a year at that point. We just wanted to perform. It was our first time back on stage. We were like, okay, I'm giving it to you now, because I haven't been able to do it from the tits down for such a long time. So it was good. It was fun. I loved doing it.
And you could tell with even the rest of the cast watching, because as a performing drag queen, you're always in the audience watching incredible stuff. And it was a year without that, and you were like live front row center for some of the most incredible lip syncs ever.
Oh, we were sitting there like, do I have any change? I just want to tip that girl $1.
Yeah, and we got probably one of the most iconic lip syncs of all time from Miss Laganja Estranja.
I knew something was up because, you know, of course you see through that screen. Yes, that screen takes like 10 minutes to go up. It's like, so slow. It's a hamster on a wheel back there. So we're just in anticipation. We're like, what the heck is going on? And it goes up, and we're like, we waited all that time for them not to even be in place.
And
then all of a sudden, just bam! And I was like, how the hell did she do that? She was up on ladders and just like leapt off of it onto the stage and then turned it out. And if you can beat Trinity K. Bonet at a lip sync, you know that you are golden.
Right.
Because she is so insanely talented on her own. And then to lose both of her lip syncs,
crazy.
It's crazy, but that just shows you the level of talent that was there this year.
But also, I feel like the girls she went up against, they very much were like, here's a song for you.
Yeah, but I also feel like that could be said for like the one that I did with Mayhem for Phone. Like, that's a Mayhem song. She's done that one for years.
And you turned it out.
And I was like, well, I could do it too. I used to drink. I've lost my phone.
I can relate.
I know what it's like to have to walk when you don't want to.
I mean, the past seasons where they've had lip sync assassins, I'm like, where is Trinity K. Bonet? Because some of my favorites of all time have been hers.
Yeah. And even the lip sync she did this year, even if she didn't win, she was still iconic in them.
Oh, totally.
She's so good.
Yeah.
She's so good.
Can we talk for a second about your original season 7, and how you should have won?
I would love to.
You're like, oh, my favorite topic.
Oh, you got so excited you popped your mic.
That's just what I do.
It should have been you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. The thing is, if it should have been me, it would have been me. And I don't like to live in the past. I don't like to sit back and go, oh, why didn't I win? I'm glad I didn't win, because it did force me to kind of examine why I didn't win and get better. And then I went back for All Stars 2, and that taught me a whole different set of life lessons. And now I've come back to All Star 6, and I feel like for the first time I've gotten to show the world kind of who I actually am. You know, because season 7, let me tell you this, I've been telling everybody this. My grandmother always had this saying where you can't ever see yourself until you see yourself through somebody else's eyes. And I never knew what she meant until I was on season 7. And all of a sudden, it's like this horrible gift where you get to see yourself like edited through somebody else's lens. And I realized just how unhappy I was. I realized how much of my personal life I sacrificed for drag, because I would look at it and I was like, I know I don't have eyebrows now, but I was like, I look like one of those Chucky dolls that has been tossed into the bin and forgotten about. My hair was long and straggly. I had no eyebrows. My skin was bad. I was miserable. And I just remember looking at that going, you don't care about yourself. You care about Ginger, but you don't really care about yourself. And so I started making changes from there, and it was a lot of personal growth and building, and a lot of it was not fun. But I am really proud of kind of where I've come to at this point in my life.
and I'm really happy to share that with the world. And if I had won season 7, that never would have been a thing.
Good point.
And that also helps Ginger be better too.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, and now I feel like that there is no line between, you know, Ginger in drag or Ginger out of drag. I don't go by Joshua because to me Joshua is just, it is so, there's so much hurt there, there's so much trauma there. Ginger's what I've created from the happiness, and so I'm Ginger as a boy, as a girl, anything in between. I'm also non-binary, so I just kind of like to live in this world that I've created for myself. And it makes me very happy, and I think that because it does make me happy, I'm able to kind of go out there and show other people that feel like I did and like I always have, that you can come past that and you can be successful and you can kind of create your own happiness if nobody else is going to give it to you.
Totally.
Beautiful.
I just talk a lot.
We love that.
They gave me that nitro cold brew before I
She's
started.
ready.
So I am like, what would you like to talk about now? Anything?
Well, let's talk about your show in Provincetown.
Oh, I'm doing a show in Provincetown. I've been here for a month now. I've never been to Provincetown before. I always wanted to play Provincetown, and I'm sure everybody comes in here like, I always wanted to play Provincetown. It was always a goal of mine because I knew from reading like the books about Divine and all that kind of stuff that it was a big part of her life. She owned that story here, she lived here, and I wanted to follow in those footsteps. So before Drag Race, I wasn't famous enough to sell in Provincetown. And then after Drag Race, I got so busy and distracted that I never had the time to commit to it. Because I didn't want to come in for a day or two. I wanted to really experience it. So this season, it just kind of lined up perfectly, and I didn't know what to expect. I'm not going to lie, that first week was a little rough. Not the show. The show's been fine, but it's so laid back here. It's so slow. There's no Wi-Fi anywhere I go.
We know too.
But I'm not used to relaxing. I'm used to going and going and going and going. And so my husband and I were like, well, what should we do? I don't know. It's like 8 o'clock. You want to go get some food? Oh, there's nothing open. I guess we'll eat pizza again. Like, we spent the whole first week eating Hot Pockets from the gas station across the street from here. And I don't regret any of it, but it's just a big lifestyle change. But now that we've fallen into the groove of it, like, everybody's so nice. And everybody's so sweet to me. Like, I've been walking through the town, like, before I went to film the finale stuff, everybody's like, you're gonna win, you're gonna, everybody, even the coffee lady at the Nut House, who I love so much, Peppy, she always has my coffee ready for me. She's like, you're gonna win. And then when I didn't, we're coming back into town, everybody's like, sorry, girl. I mean, everybody is so sweet to me. And every show has been completely sold out. We added another show next Friday. Friday? Yes, next Friday at 7:30 p.m. because everything's just selling out. And the art house is telling me I'm breaking all these records, and it's wonderful for your first time in a place that you've always wanted to perform at. It's so humbling, and it's such a confidence boost at the same time.
Congratulations.
Oh, and the show is good too, and it changes every night.
That's killer.
Because I've prepared an opening number and a closing number, and then everything in between the audience gets to choose.
No
Really?
way.
Yeah.
That's
so
fun.
It is really fun. It keeps me on my toes. There are lots of different kinds of songs. You never know what's going to happen. We give away some prizes. It's great.
I think the reason your show is selling out is because, like, when anyone who knows you or has seen you on TV, like, knows they're gonna go and they're gonna be entertained for an hour. It's gonna be incredible. You're never gonna drop the ball. It's just gonna be fun, and you're gonna be amazing.
Well, I've learned not to drop the ball because I can't bend over and pick it up again. Especially the older I get. I was like, Eureka's not the only one that's had these knee problems,
But your show's been going amazing, and you've been enjoying Provincetown.
Yes. Did I not make that clear?
No, you did.
This is the best place in the world.
I feel like a lot
Especially if you like fudge, pizza, and ice cream.
We do.
I'm obsessed. It's so good.
I feel like a lot of girls like coming here because I know your lifestyle is like club, another club, plane, club, and it's nice to be able to kind of sit still for a minute, have your show, have an audience that's fresh and new every night.
Yeah. Well, and like with me, I've I've kind of transitioned out of the club scene over the last couple of years because I've been pushing more towards theater, movies, television, and a lot of my work has been in television and movies, which is great, but you don't have that instant gratification of an audience, you know, and it's such a love fest for me when I'm out there because all I want to do is hug on people and love on people. People always ask, what's the best part of drag? My joke answer is getting out of it, because it does feel good to wipe all that off after a while, but the real answer is, like, the best part is going out there and talking to people and learning other people's stories and getting to kind of connect with these people who saw a little bit of themselves in you. So that's important for me, and you don't get that when you're in front of a camera. So it's really nice to kind of be back out in the world and hugging people safely, very safely hugging people, and just talking, you know? It's so good.
So you've also got new music coming out.
Yeah.
Double Wide Diva.
Double Wide Diva is my country album, and I know people are like, oh God, a drag queen country album. It's not that.
I live for a drag queen country album.
But it's really not that. You know, it's I got to tell part of my story on Drag Race this year with the Charisma, Uniqueness, Nerve, and Talent monologues, which I think is the best challenge they've ever come up with, because everybody can approach it from a different angle and it's all valid and you get to really learn something new about each other. And it really bothered me when the judges were like, it seems too rehearsed, it seems too rehearsed. I had to present it in a way like that in order to be that vulnerable about such a pivotal and kind of raw moment in my life, you know? You kind of have to put on that character just to power through it. But I knew that I didn't want to do something frivolous. I didn't want to do something silly like the other girls, well, like a lot of the other girls were gearing towards. A, because I wanted to stand apart, and B, because that story, that moment in my life, it really changed my whole path. And I felt like if I could share that, it might help somebody else. And so I was really concerned how the audience would respond to it, just because the judges were giving me that bullshit about, you know, oh, it's too, this, that, and the other, it's too rehearsed, too glossy. I started getting messages from people all over the world that were like, I'm in tears over here because this reflects my story, or I wish my story had gone that way, or this, that, or the other thing. And so that really kind of encouraged me to be like, you know what, tell more of your story. I grew up in the country. I am very country. I love country music. But I feel like in the country genre, if you hear drag queen, you immediately go, no. In the drag world, if you hear country, you immediately go, no. They're kind of opposing ends. So I had to figure out a way to kind of marry those two worlds. And this album really does that. I don't know if you've listened to Walk Tall, which is the lead single off of it. It's based on the story that I told on the show. It's just universal. It's not about being a drag queen. It's not about being gay or queer or non-binary or anything. It's about just being different. And everybody in the entire world is different, whether they want to admit it or not. We're all different. That's what makes us special. So I wanted people to really kind of connect with that. And it's the most serious song on the album, but the rest of it really just tells little bits and pieces of my story.
You can pre-save now.
The pre-save is available now. I'm looking over at my husband over in the corner right now. The pre-save is available today. If you go to gingerminjonline.com, don't go to gingerminj.com because
it's different.
It's porn.
Really?
Sometimes, yes. But gingerminjonline.com. Follow me on all my social media accounts because we post all the info there. If you haven't already watched the Walk Tall music video, go and watch that. Get ready because the album is really fantastic.
When does the album officially drop?
The album drops on the 17th. I knew that one. I didn't even have to look over. It drops on the 17th of this month. My final show at the Art House is September 11th, which is my birthday. So everybody come and party with me on my final night here. And then also just a couple other things I'm going to plug because I've got a captive audience right now.
Plug it.
Plug it up, Carrie. So I have my cooking show, Wigs in a Blanket with Jiggly Caliente. We just finished the full season. It's available to stream on Out TV. We also have been working on my memoirs, which are tell-all, and it is no holds barred. It tells the fun, the funny, the dirty, the traumatizing aspects of my life from birth all the way through All-Star 6. Lots of great details and juicy stories in there, so that'll be coming out very soon. What else do we have going on? There's so much. The vinyl drops, yes, we talked about it. It's going to be printed on a vinyl.
We love vinyl.
And for those of you who are under a certain age, that's a giant CD. And those of you who are under a certain age, a CD was a compact disc recording that you put in a machine to listen to music. It's crazy, I know. We're blowing your mind, but you can Google it. And speaking of Googling it, we're in Boston in a couple weeks, which is fun.
Are you doing Serve Thursdays?
Probably.
Serve Thursdays.
That sounds fun. Oh, and I do have to tell you, this is what I wanted to tell you, and this is what my husband should have been signaling over there. We're going on a worldwide Christmas tour this year because I am the queen of Christmas. I love Christmas so much. And so that's going to be going all around. It's all brand new material. It's all really fun.
I love that.
So there's lots. There's
Yeah.
a lot coming up, and it's all really fun.
Do you think you might end up back in P-Town at any point?
That was going to be my question.
Well, now that y'all have had me, you're not going to get rid of me.
We don't want to.
No, I love it. I love being here. It's going to be really difficult for me to go home because I've really fallen into the whole vibe here. I was just in LA for 3 days to do all this stuff, and I'm like, it's too busy. What do you mean I can get on my phone and order food? This is ridiculous. I should be forced to walk a mile to the pizza place. P.S. Go to George's Pizza and get the pineapple pizza with extra pineapple and extra cheese, baked a little extra crispy. And then go down the street to Twisted and get the unicorn ice cream, which is so delicious. And then just sit outside and watch people.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing to do.
Well, you've got a home here now, so.
Oh, thank you. Am I moving in with you?
Yeah, well,
He's
you
got
are.
an extra bedroom.
Oh, do you?
Sorry, Peter.
That's fun. I love Peter. And
See?
that is universal, really. It's so good.
Well, thank you so much for coming by. It was truly an honor to have you on our show today.
Oh, it was an honor being had. I really appreciate it.
Enjoy your last couple of weeks here.
I will.
And come back soon.
I will. I'm so sad I wasn't here for Bear Week, P.S.
Come back. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, next year do the whole summer,
Well, we'll see.
if you can.
We'll see. I'm a very busy girl. Oh, I also have a Christmas movie coming out. Okay, that's it. That's it. I have nothing else to plug
She's plugged up.
except maybe my hairline. I don't know. It's starting to go.
We'll see you soon, Ginger.
All
Thanks so
right.
much.
Thank you
See you
so
at
much.
the show.
You guys, we have to thank our sponsors, of course, the Adam Howard Metal Workshop at 3 Bradford Street, Cafe Heaven, the Red Inn, Be Well Cannabis Dispensary, where you can get all your green needs met. And I do want to say one more thing. The White Party, the annual White Party that was supposed to happen tomorrow, of course, this is the second year in a row where we're not going to get to have a White Party. It is a fundraiser for Outer Cape Health Services, which is our clinic here. You can still donate at whiteparty.org and send a little money to Outer Cape's Way. It's usually their biggest fundraiser of the year, so they're not going to get to have it. So they're trying to raise money online, of course. Please donate.
Awesome.
And thank you for waking up in Provincetown.
Wherever you are.
We'll see you soon.
next week.
See you at Cafe Heaven. My duck
Good morning, everybody.
You've been loving